Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Give yourselves a round of applause because I already am. Because I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy for... Where do I begin? Right? I'm I like it. I just came up with a new word. I'm gratafilled. Filled with gratitude. That was not a senior moment. That was a divine download. Can I get an amen? I'm gratified. I'm gratafilled. Wow. See, there it is. The promise is being fulfilled as we speak. And what is that promise? That promise is where it says, I can count up to 2 at least. I know I'm one, you're the other one. When we come together with the same mindset, the same heart set, the same soul set, wonderful things will happen. It didn't say it could, it should, it might. It says it will. See, guess what I did the other day? I don't know if I should be ashamed or if I should celebrate, because I like small business and stuff. But guess what? I went and joined Costco. I did. And there was a $120 fee to be, I think they call it an executive, right? Whatever. And so then I go in. It was like being in another country. I was like, first of all, the cart is so big. I was like, why is this cart so big? Right? Then I'm looking around because, I'm one of those cart peepers. I peep inside other people's carts. Tells you a lot. It's like looking at a person's music collection. It really is. Try it. So anyway, I'm looking. I'm like, boy, that sure is a lot of toothpaste. Boy, what is she going to do with all those onions? Right? So I start picking up stuff. I did not know that everything there was like mega big. I thought I was buying like 8 chicken breasts, skinless chicken. I didn't know there were 2 in each one of those things. Then it was folded over. So I got like 20 anyway. And then you look at the meat, right? Like the steaks and stuff. $57, $70. I'm like, what in the world? Listen, if that steak cannot give me at least Mariah Carey's first 5 hits, Sing them to me. I ain't paying that kind of money. I'm just not going to do it. Help me welcome to the show my sidekick. She's here every day, has been for 7 whole years. Here she is, Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Love her. Love me some Lucy. And I want you guys, you hear that bell? That's right. Not a gimmick, not some show prop. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity because, and I need to pull this hat. I can barely hear there. It's an opportunity because just like that bell has a ring to it, guess what? So does the truth. So when there's some truth out there, I know you're like, don't forget your lunch. Honey, stop by the dry cleaner, text all the things we do all at once, multitasking, which is why I'm glad we have our guests here today. You know, with today's world, this new normal and all, you know, shoot, y'all, we are constantly, I work in my sleep. I really do. I really do. It never turns off. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but we're going to find out today. I'm really excited about a lot of things, which I already told you, but I'm really most excited that we're here, that we get it. You know what I'm saying? That we carve out that space. We hold that space where we pour into each other and allow ourselves to be poured in by each other. It's that two-way feed. You know, those things that haunt us, those lies and whispers, that dictator, that commentator, whatever it is that has stopped you, held you, had its foot on your neck. Let me tell you something. The only time those things work is when they get us all alone. Think about that. When they get us all alone. So don't let it get you alone, right? Get your front row seat people. Get your peeps on speed dial. Have that book or that passage marked. Have something within reach. I mean, I'm not talking way across the house, not even out in the car. I'm talking about within reach. If you got to put it in your back pocket, keep it with you. But you really want it here, and all around you. That's where you want it. So no matter where you go, it's there with you, right? We're going to talk about that and more today on today's show. My guest today, she's been here before, and she was threatening us with a new book back then, if you will. Joy Willett. She said she'd want to come back, and she did. She hit me up. She goes, remember that book? I was like, mm-hmm. She goes, I wrote it. I said, you did? She goes, mm-hmm. So she's back. So let me tell you about her, okay? She's been described, Joy, of course, has been described as a beacon of light, uplifting others into their higher purpose and vision. Now, as an expert strategist, she guides people to reconnect to their mind and heart. Now, that's a big word right there. That's a bridge. Reconnect. She's not claiming you've never been there. She's helping you get back to where you might have forgotten. You know, I used to be connected to that. Yes, you did. Absolutely. She's going to help you reconnect to your mind and heart in order to break through those barriers, okay? Unlock your mission. I'm going to ask her. I wrote it down. Do you believe, Joy Willett Cooper, that mission is synonymous with purpose? Ooh, giving her a head start on that one. And she wants to help rocket launch your loftiest accomplishments. And also, there's some benefits to her intricate neuro-science knowledge. Now, don't go tuning off. Don't go, oh no, one of those NLP people. I used to be that way too. I was scared to death of them till I went to one. And next thing you know, I was in People magazine because she told me I would be. It happened. So anyway, there's a whole bunch about her, but Joy's greatest passion currently is working with socially conscious leaders of tomorrow. Is that you? Is it? Well, if it is, get ready. I'm saying, listen, she's not a first timer, but still today, go the extra mile. Bless somebody in the way you want to be blessed. Put it down the way you want to pick it up. Can I get an amen? In other words, share the doggone thing out. Share this thing out. It isn't going to kill you. It doesn't hurt. Just boop, 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 boop. Send it to a couple people that you love, and you want them to know that you are there for them right now. Send this out. See, when you do that, something is already being dispatched from the FedEx of purpose on its way to your doorstep as we speak. Go ahead. Bless somebody right now. Bless somebody. So anyway, put your hearts into this illuminated conversation, if you can. I know you can. And put your hearts on the screen. Guess who it is? Get ready, you guys. Here she comes. Here she. You know what the book is called? I am joy, and so are you. Or I think, or something like that. I am joy, you are too. I got it. I'm sure I got all the words. They're just probably not in order. But she'll tell you, because here she comes. Well. Look who it is. Hi, Joy.
Hi there. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, wait a minute. I got to have my cup of Joy.
Joy. Uh-huh. You got one of those names. I already know what the problem is with that name. Everybody thinks they're clever because at birthday and Christmas they want to give you something with that word on it, right or wrong?
Well, Christmas, my name's everywhere.
Everywhere.
My name is in lights everywhere. It's been so much fun. I mean, I've got photos of me, like Home Depot. I went in, I was renovating a place I had just moved into,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just before Christmas, right? So I walk in and they've got one of those huge joy, lit up signs. And I went in and sat down and had pictures taken of me, put it on Facebook, right? Of course.
Of course.
I'm in my clothes for renovating. I'm in sweats but I had to sit there. Do you know how many likes I got on that picture and still do?
A lot.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
I think there's something in my show opener when we were out doing the Heart of Hollywood cover shoot right before Christmas. We were on Rodeo Drive, and I think I sat in front of that thing. The Joy something. Anyway, yeah, just something about that name, right? So tell everybody where you're at, Joy. Say hello, and we'll get started. Getting caught up on all the wonderful things that have happened in your life.
No, this is so much fun, Lauren. I'm so happy to be here.
Taking this hat off, I can't hear. Okay, there we go. Oh,
so anyways, and good morning. It's like dark here because it's Southern California, and I don't have my bathrobe on, but I could actually. I'm in Southern California, and just really, really pleased to be here because Lauren, you are an amazing person. I was sitting here laughing while I was waiting backstage and watching the clips and watching you on, and I'm like, I'm sitting here laughing, almost spitting my coffee out because you're just great. You're great. You are, oh my gosh. What you bring, who you are is absolutely.
Go on.
Fabulous. Oh, I could go on for a long time.
So you know that one. Okay. You know what? I was thinking, has anyone ever said to you, you should have been on QVC or something? Like Forbes and all those girls. You should, because you just have that thing about you where I could see, well, you know what? Here we go. I'm going to prove it. You guys, take a look because she's so modest and all that. I want you guys to get a real good look and we're going to get started because I want you guys to ask your questions. Anything about this thing up here, this noggin, how do I this? I can't seem to let go of that. I've tried this and it didn't work. Get all that ready because I'm going to tell you something. I believe this. I believe that a lot of what Joy does, the NLP and stuff, works best on those of us who are skeptics. I really do, because I know when I went in 1988, I saw an ad and it blew up, and I was like, really blew up. It's in my masterclass. It really happened. And I was like, I don't believe in that shit. Right? I went and changed my life. That woman told me that day. She made 2 predictions. You're going to win this award in music, which, believe it or not, is sitting right back there. I keep it hidden because I don't even want to go there. And you're going to be in People magazine. And both of them happened. So we're going to talk about that. But first, here's a little bit inside scoop on this lady.
Have you already achieved success as a leader in your field? But right now you're feeling completely immobilized because you know you have an even bigger vision to step into, but you just can't tap into it. I know you're socially conscious and you're here to change an industry, but you're lost in too many possibilities. You are hovering between chaos and almost crisis. Hi, I'm Joy Willett, and I'm a transformational mentor. I work with successful entrepreneurs, executives, and innovators who are high achievers and visionaries just like you. By reconnecting you to your heart and mind, I help you to break through those barriers, unlock your mission, and step into your next big vision that you came here to make. As someone who has been in the transformational health movement, as well as being certified for over 25 years in the neuroscience field, I am so rewarded when I get to help attorneys, celebrities, award-winning sports figures, innovators just like you to move into their next categories of genius. Did you happen to know and realize that we are only using 3% of our minds consciously? That leaves a whopping 97% that is out of our awareness and sitting at the unconscious level. When you work with me, using the time-proven tools of mind and heart transformation, I will help you to tap into that unlimited potential in the unconscious so that you can be limitless and unstoppable. Can you imagine what it will be like when you are able to move into your next level of brilliance in your career, your life, and your mission? So click on the link below and set up a Spotlight Your Path consult with me and my team so you can fulfill that mission, because the world needs you, doesn't it?
So there it is. There it is. So,
Hey,
Joe, what I love about you, I'm just going to put it out there and you guys so that you can just put your eyebrow of suspicion away. Seriously, the thing that I know about you just automatically off the top is you're believable. You're authentic, you're transparent, you're believable. So once that's off the table, start telling us one thing that jumped out to me, because I remember, well, I say it in my master class. I remember the day in 4th grade when Mrs. Johnson said, "Now, guess what? I've got some exciting news for all you." And I was thinking, what? Right? And she says, "Did you know we only use 10% of our brain?" And she had a plastic one. And I was like, thank goodness, because I knew I was going to need a whole lot more, right? I say that in my master class. It's true. But you now have knocked that figure from 10 down to 3%. What's happened, Joy? Why is it only 3% now? Back in the day, they used to say 10.
actually, it's gotten even less. It is just the more studies that they make. Oh, by the way, my website is Joy D. Willett. So if you go to Willett, you're not going to find me.
Now, was the D always in there?
It's my new website. So
because I found that. So okay. I was like, is that
Joys of Success, and now it's Joy D. Willett. So go by my name on here, guys. So,
okay? We're gonna put a new one up. We can do that. That's
okay.
easy.
Cool.
New one up. So
Yeah, you actually find me that way. So yeah, actually, it is now. They are saying, and the studies, it's between 97 to 99, and then I've seen 99.99% recently, is what is running out of our awareness. That's why, thank you, darling. That's why this is so important to understand what's under the tip of the iceberg, I call it, because that's all the stuff. We say stuff, right? It's the, and the stuff is running all of our lives. And usually these programs, right? We'll call them programs, this is our stories, whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
Have been made up since we were like, you can even trace it back. People can remember in the womb making up stuff in their consciousness.
Really?
Believe that? Absolutely. This is the next frontier. Knowing, because as we say, if you're not in control of your mind, somebody else is. And that's true. Turn on the TV, turn on the news, so it's all about empowerment, right?
I'm copying you, by the way. I saw you put that candle up there. I said, it must be something special. So I put it up. So
I didn't have any light this morning. No.
So Joy,
yes.
Let me ask you this. What would you say is the most frequent misconception that people have, or maybe even /fear, regarding the entire NLP thing? And is NLP and hypnosis the same thing?
They are.
Or are they the same?
Work on the subconscious or the unconscious programs. Both of them do, because it said all change happens at the unconscious level. So the conscious mind is our goal getter or goal setter, excuse me.
Okay.
Goal setter. Like when it's January 2022 and everyone's doing their goals, right? We're using our conscious mind. Oh yeah, I want to make this much money. I want to have this kind of relationship. I want to live in this kind of home.
Sure.
All of those yada yadas, right? I want to be on the cover of blah blah blah, right? You know, whatever it is, right? Or I want to make this kind of impact.
Right.
So that is our goal setter. The unconscious mind, though, is our goal getter. It's that energy. Okay, everything's energy and frequency. We're not just making this up on your show this morning. It's proven, right?
That's true.
The unconscious mind is the goal getter. It's pulsing out there. And it's also, you know, we use that part of our minds to go after something. So if you want to have a red sports car, what do you see on the road? Suddenly you're seeing red sports cars, right? Because once we put a thought in our mind and we're in alignment with our emotions, okay? So this is why I say we have to also coordinate a whole bunch of other things. But back to the unconscious mind or the subconscious or what?
Yeah. Let me butt in real quick, because just like you said, everybody knows that's true about when you get a certain color car. All of a sudden you see those cars everywhere. But it happened to me the other day, last week, when I went from a cloth mask to the N45 or 12, 16L, whatever it was. I got those pointy ones because, you know, I kept hearing on the news, oh, you want to, you know. So, and then suddenly all I saw were people who had on the mask like me. And then I was kind of looking at the people with, poor thing, don't know better, still wearing those ones. But anyway, what is it that makes us see something simply because we've now incorporated it into our own
it's the part, without getting too technical, it's the part of our brain that actually goes after, because our brain has all these different functions. It's that part of the brain that actually gets activated, okay? And it starts to then go and see things. There's a whole lot of fun around how do we really manifest? How do we really create reality, right? That's a huge, amazing topic. And so it was, let's go back to Albert Einstein. Most of your audience and people have heard about Albert Einstein, right? He was the quantum physicist who was part of the experiments and you know, right before World War II. And he and his scientists did their studies and discovered that when they were studying with subatomic particles, right, called quanta, right, that in the light studies, that when they were, what are you eating?
Watermelon.
Nice, I love it. It's so good for your kidneys, and it tastes good. And so I hope it's ripe.
It is.
If it's not ripe, it doesn't taste terribly great, but sweet and ripe watermelon is awesome. So what they noticed was these particles, these quanta particles, subatomic, the tiny little particles, were responding by whoever was watching them. And they went, oh my God, this is how we create reality. So we have the saying, what you focus on expands. I think a lot of people have heard that. So does that mean if we're focusing on something we don't want, like, oh, I don't want to be blah, 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 right? What we focus on expands. So if you are worrying and fretting and you know, concerned about something that you don't want, ask yourself, what do I want instead? And focus on that, because that's how we actually create reality. We're creating reality every moment. Now, most of us are unconscious of what we're creating, right?
Right.
So in order to get your results in the world, are what you're creating. Everything in your life is what you're creating. If it's not something you want to ask yourself, what do I want instead, in the positive, and focus on that. And also, it's about clearing what is, I call it, under the tip of the iceberg.
Uh-huh.
In that subconscious part of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And people might go, well, how the heck do I do that, right? There's all these different wonderful ways. There's so many different ways to clear, but you do want to get into that part that's running your show. You can do it with NLP, hypnosis. These are some of the terminologies. Hypnosis works with the subconscious, putting a person into a light trance. Now, we go into trance all the time. Watching your opening video, anytime we watch TV or a show, or we are on these puppies, right? This puts us in trance, listening to news, listening to music. We go into, that's just how the brain functions. The brain operates at a fast level,
Yeah.
and then it goes into a slower level. And it does this all the time, like every few minutes too. It has to. It's an alternating current. Okay.
Can I show something real quick? I want this. I bet you've never had this happen when you were on a show. I bet you that. Watch this. So, okay, you know how you were talking about the particles and all that? Okay. Because I'd have to see pictures and stuff, or else and I just do. That's how what is greater than works with me. Everything's in a picture. So I remember when I saw what I'm about to show you. When you see this, tell us how similar, because I got a feeling there's a bridge. How similar what we're watching is to what you're describing when you say the response to whomever's looking at it. That's so. Remember when you said that? Okay. So take a look. And see, she doesn't even know what I'm about to show. So this is look at this, these sand vibration patterns. Okay, watch. So they drop the sand on there, then there's a sound, the vibrate, and then watch.
Now that's sound frequency.
Right.
That is sound frequency. Yes.
Okay. So the reason, see, look, and they can repeat those things over and over and over, and it'll do the same thing, make the same. So that's what got me going. Okay, so because when we're looking at something, we're sending something. It's a signal. It must be a frequency. So that's why I wanted to show that, to show the non-believers, like my granny. She'd be the first one. That ain't nothing but the devil. You don't let nobody up in here, So let's just talk about that, because a lot of people, think it's woo-woo or this, that, and the other. So now tell us what powers we have that we don't realize we have.
Our superpowers.
Superpowers, even better.
Yeah, superpowers. And by the way, I love your grateful or whatever you said.
Yeah, that word I made up.
Yeah, it was awesome. All right, so we have so many. So we are basically untapped, right? We have so much potential. If we were to actually get into that part of ourselves and communicate with that part of ourselves that is running our lives, our emotions, the subconscious or the unconscious mind, right, stores our emotions. It represses trauma, right? It organizes our sense of time. It runs, first and foremost, our physical bodies and preserves it. And it holds a perfect blueprint of health and wellness for our bodies, which is so important. This is why I'm so passionate about training people. I certify people in this, and I teach workshops. I certify people as NLP practitioners and timeline therapy and hypnosis.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. Should anybody, I don't think just any old person should say, okay, I'm going to be an NLP practitioner. I think that's somewhat of a calling. I think that should be a calling, because Because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't want just anybody running around in those hallways up in here. It's bad enough with, you know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, so this is my take, and you know, there's a lot of people trained in this. By the way, your most of the presidents, the good ones who know how to speak, are trained in NLP.
They
Okay,
are, or they were.
they are.
The one that probably wasn't.
Obama was highly trained. Some other presidents in the past and their associates have been trained in NLP. This is the art and science of influence and communication.
Mm.
So this is why it is so important to understand what it is. And in fact, I have it's called Sales Mastery, and it's for mastery in career as well as in life. And I've taught families, and I'm going to have a webinar on in a couple of weeks on Facebook. And also, and I teach about how to tell stories, because stories is working. Storytelling goes right to the unconscious mind. That's why people tell a story, right?
I specialize in that.
Yeah. Well, I have a webinar, free webinar on Thursday, Lauren, if you want to pop in, 12 Pacific time. Anyways, I feel that because all NLP, that's a fancy broad term
Yeah.
for understanding what's going on at the subconscious levels. And this class, this little mini class, that really should be taught in schools.
I agree.
Salesperson, everyone in marketing who knows marketing, they're using this on us, by the way. They're using this on us because it's to influence how we take in the world, how we want to buy, how we want, but it's working, it's learning those nuances, Lauren, so that you can talk to anyone in their preferred way of taking in the world, whether they're auditory, that means whether they're hearing, they take in the world through sound or through sight.
Well, that's what social media, Facebook, all those algorithms, and when they learn our thing. Because remember back in like the 50s, drive-in theaters, remember that story? How they used to say they would show throw a hot dog up there so fast that no one registered they saw it. But 10 minutes later, the line was out the door. Everybody wanting a hot dog.
Yeah, they did that for, I mean, listen, like we say, if you're not in control of your mind, someone else is. So it's all about becoming empowered. This is about empowerment. It's not about, some people can use this stuff for therapeutic, for shifting things, sure, but also for professional life and for communication with your family, with your colleagues, with someone that you want to interview in front of. It's about people who are like themselves. Okay, like people who are like themselves.
Of course.
For centuries and way back when in the caveman days, we didn't have verbal speech. So we're only actually what they say, all right, is we're only in communication. How much do you know this? How much are we using in our actual words? How much of a percentage in our communication with other human beings? How much are we using?
Our words?
Yeah. How much? What's the percentage? Take it. Guess.
I would say 20.
Nope.
Less?
Go down.
8.
You're close. 7%, they say. Okay.
Wow.
So what else is going on when we communicate right now? When we're communicating at those really subtle levels, even on this, computer screens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's 38% is the tonality of how we're speaking. Because remember, in caveman days, we came up to each other. And then 55% is our body language. We had to come up if I was coming into a new tribe of caveman clan, right? Clan of the cave bears or whatever that was. And I'm coming in, I had to use my body language to show that I'm non-threatening. Otherwise I'd be killed, right? I had to use my tonality to and my hands, I'm using my hands here, right?
Mhm.
So until we formed language, right? Or even if you go to a foreign country, what do you do when you go to a foreign country and you don't know the language? What are you noticing? You're noticing, you're hearing what a person's saying, you're listening to the tonality. Are they upset? Are they happy? And you are also using your body language to convey, like, I want that, piece of pizza, that piece of pizza, so
So, Joy, we're
yes.
going to take a brief break, just a minute. And when we come back, let's
Okay.
get into, because we want to head towards the book here so
Oh yeah.
people can understand what is in there that can help them today. Move a little bit closer,
Okay. Yeah.
to the head of the table, if you will. A lot of us, like you said, you make it plain there, which is another thing I love about what your work is that you speak to people from where they're at. Doesn't mean everybody always takes you back to as if you haven't done any work. You haven't started or created any type of, ascension. But all of us, every day we wake up, we're already great. The problem with a lot of people is they don't know how to become greater. It's only one E and one R that you need to find every day to take everything to the next level. Bright to brighter, strong to stronger, great to greater. So when we come back, we're going to talk about something that you have control of, that we have control of, that just might do the trick, right? That and more. We'll be back in just about 1 minute. Don't you dare go away. All right, welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments, and I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris. Before we get our great guest back in here, we get all up inside of this thing, right? I want to talk to you about one of the choices I've made in the last year that I'm so grateful that I did, and it's this. I dumped the Diet Coke, I really did, and it had a chokehold on me, and I replaced it with this, V8. Why? Couple reasons. Number one, it's 100% vegetable juice from concentrate, only 60 calories per can, and two, count them, 2 full vegetables of servings of vegetables in every can. Easy peasy to find. Head down the juice aisle at your local grocer, buy yourself some, pop the top, done, just like that. Make a choice today. Okay, we're back. Hi, Joy. So before we left, we were talking about a lot of things, but let's talk about now why this might be important for someone to consider the NLP, the going from here to there. Here's what I believe. I believe, people say, I want to go from point A to point B. And I believe that point A is wherever we find ourselves at any given moment. And point B is everything beyond that. Everything beyond that. Like right now, we're in point B because a second ago we were over there. Now we're over here. So talk about that. Why and how does a person say, you know what? I think I need to reprogram or change something or do this. What would make a person think that this is for them? How do you know?
Well, so first off, and I go into this in my book. Okay. I enjoyed, so are you, 19 authentic ways to uncover and elevate your natural happiness. And in the book, Lauren, your book is on your way to you. In the book, I talk about it's really it's a multi process. So it's not just all about the mind in the book and how I work with my clients. It's about connecting with our mindset, okay, which is, how we think and the stuff we make up about things, right? Our heart set, okay, and our soul set. So I really go into a lot about, and this is what I believe, is that in order to find out what our B is, where do we want to go?
Right.
And I did a series, I've been doing a series of little vlogs for this month
Mhm.
for those that love to listen to my wonderful voice talking about things. I said, first off, because everybody and their uncle are making, and by the way, congrats on the V8 versus Diet Coke.
Oh, thank you.
I love that. I love that. Um, is is first? I said, for me, I have to connect to my heart first. I have to
Okay.
get inside. I have to listen to the wisdom. We have wisdom already. It's not about changing everything. It's about, that's why I said uncover.
Acknowledging and enhancing.
Yeah,
Right.
enhancing. And we all have blocks. Okay, so we're going to remove blocks. But first we need to tune in to what makes us us. And first off, every single person watching this, Lauren,
Mhm.
including you and I, there will never be another configuration on this earth. God made us uniquely designed. We
Yeah.
are so beautifully, uniquely designed. We're like snowflakes, perfect. We are perfect in our imperfectness. And that's our superpower, by the way. The most important superpower that you have is that you are you.
Oh,
You
you are you.
are you.
Yes.
And there's no one else like you. And so it's a matter of, oh, they like that. I'm getting the chilometers here.
Yeah.
Connect to your heart. What do I want for this year? What do I really want? Or whatever it is. Okay. Then we connect to our mind. Okay, we write it down. We write it down. Okay, what do I want? Da da da. And then I have a little exercise. This isn't, I go into further detail in my work with clients. And I work with professionals also and corporations and sales teams as well as individuals. So it's all of us can get out of our own way. All of
Yeah.
us. So if we have limiting beliefs, so if we write down like what we want, like as goals for this year in right now, this month, January 2022,
Sure.
write down to the right of those goals, like just do five, keep it simple
Keep it
also.
simple.
What are the limiting beliefs? What's coming up for you? Why you're not going to be able to reach that? Write those down, get those out, bring them to awareness. And
But
then
do people see? Is it that easy, Joy, for people to look at that and go, hey, limiting belief, how'd you get in here? Get out of here. You didn't even take your shoes off when you came in here. How do people see their limiting beliefs?
okay,
How do
good.
they identify them?
I love that question. So when I do work with my clients, we first clear the major negative emotions and in their illuminate their pathway breakthrough program. It's a breakthrough program I have. And so we get the big stuff out of the way. And then using NLP, timeline therapy, and the mind arts to shift it. Then I say, now your homework is when you are sitting at a traffic light, right, in your car, or maybe you're waiting for something at a restaurant. What's going through your mind that's telling you la 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 la? That is like, oh well, I'm not going to be able to do that, or that's
Oh,
really hard,
a
or
dictator.
I will never be able to be like that person. Those are the things that pop up usually when we're like in that mild state of waiting for a traffic light to turn. Uh, and those are your limiting beliefs that are coming up. It's your self-talk that's coming up. Or you're looking at yourself in the mirror going, oh, I don't know. I'll never be whatever. Write those down. And then the next step, this is just simple dimple for anybody to do without even having, a coach or a mentor or whatever, a transformational person, is is to write down why you can, why debunk those limiting beliefs. Oh yeah, I can do this, or even someone else did this. It doesn't have to be your evidence, but write down your evidence. You know, oh yeah, I lost 10 pounds before. I can do it again, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we want to put in our ideal weight because the unconscious mind does not process less or more. It might go find 10 pounds. So
Okay.
instead of saying, I want to lose this by, my trip to whatever, to the Caribbean, I
Oh,
want to be this ideal weight. All right. Remember, we have to go after that.
let's talk about this one, because I know a lot of people. I used to be afraid of it. I'll tell you why I didn't trust it at the beginning, because I told you how in 1980 I was reading a drama log out in LA, and I saw an ad for hypnotherapy, and I was like, please, I don't believe in that shit. I wrote it down. I went, and it changed my life. But what was scary for me, or made me hesitant, was that I remember in high school when what do you call it? Hypnotist guy came to our school. We had an assembly. Next thing you know, all the football players are up there clucking like chickens, looking stupid. We're all laughing, and and I was like, I don't want to be just walking down the street and all of a sudden I start clucking because somebody put some trigger in there. So talk about what it is. Some people say, oh, well, they're not able to do anything you wouldn't agree to.
That is actually correct.
Okay.
Nobody will ever do anything that is against their values, their core values. Just let you know. And we say all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And so if somebody says, and this is part of what we teach, I teach in my training for hypnosis. Okay. You will not go, if someone says, okay, now Lauren, go and stand in the corner on your head. If that's against your principles and values, you will not do that. And so, and I was, my certification exam was to lead a stage hypnosis show, by the way, in our training. And so most of the people who get up and do the on the stage hypnosis, it's a matter of percentages. So what they do is people will go, yeah, I want to be on stage. I want to be on stage. Somebody gets pushed on stage. Maybe they're there for their birthday. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
right.
So what happens is the person who's leading the show will ask people to do stuff before he actually does the so-called hypnotism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Putting people into a nice trance. And so, but he will check to see if somebody is doing it or not. And he'll say, okay, you can leave, you can leave, you can leave. It's a matter of numbers. It's a matter of numbers. And anyone who's left on stage, those are usually the extroverts that in high school ran around clucking like a chicken with a lampshade on their head.
So why are some of us more open or easier to work with? Because I remember when I walked into Am, that was my hypnotherapist. When I walked into her cottage, she lived in her cottage in the valley. And as soon as I walked, she opened the door. The first thing she did after she shut the door was she reached for my arm and she pulled on it, and it didn't move. And she went, oh, you're gonna be a challenge because you're resistant, she said. You're resistant. You don't believe this and the other. And I'm gonna tell you something. She put me under and all of that, and she told me to, I remember build a stairway. Mm-hmm. And I had kept starting over because first, it was cherry wood with some burgundy carpeting. Now I was like, no, I wanted to be mahogany, and so I kept changing it. So she had told me apparently that there was a full-length mirror at the very top. And remember, this is 1988. So anyway, I remembered everything about going up, waving at the fans, pick up your award, yourself in People magazine to the left. I remembered all that when she woke me up. But then she said, and tell me what you saw when you looked in that mirror at the top of the stairs. And I was like, what mirror? Mm-hmm. You didn't tell me to look in a mirror. And that's when she reached behind that potted plant and pulled out a DAT recorder and hit rewind. And suddenly I heard her saying, so tell me, Lauren, because I was laying there going, this is such a crock. I'm not even under. I could jump up and scare her half to death right now if I wanted to, but I am comfortable, right? And then when I heard her say that, and then what really freaked me out was when I heard myself answer her. Well, I've got on my stonewashed jeans and I've got on a white t-shirt, and I freaked out because I'm like, how can I be saying that when I don't remember saying that? And that's where it all began to work and all began to, this is the spot. And the reason I took the time to bring that up is because so many of us are looking for that intersection within our development, which can bring it all together. Start making things that didn't make sense make sense. Things that I thought were hunches now seem more than just a hunch. It was easier for me to believe about People Magazine because what happened was she told me I was going to have dreams. First, I was going to have venting dreams, clearing out all the stuff because now I'm open. And I did. She goes, they won't make sense. You might be chased by a giant caterpillar with 800 heads. And I had weird dreams. But she said, keep a dream journal. Don't let your feet hit the floor until you'll forget. Sure enough, I had that dream that changed my life. I had the world's first apology service, and I dreamed I was in the game show audience, right? And as soon as I woke up, I knew it was powerful. I jumped out of bed. It was gone. Took about 2 weeks for it to come back. And when it did, I wrote it down. But here's the thing. She had said to me that day, when you leave here, stop at that 7-Eleven at the corner and pick up People Magazine. It'll help reinforce the vision. And I picked it up. And 2 weeks later, when it all came rushing back through, she had said, see yourself in People Magazine. So it did not, my subconscious mind did not even question that it was possible. I reached over because she had told me to buy it. It was 2 feet away from me. I went to the masthead. I wrote on a 3x5 card in pencil to the editor, 1 week to the day. That man was on my telephone, and the rest is history. So talk about that. What made me believe everything she said? Because it worked. Everything she told me I could have, I got.
Because you were open to it. Okay, so remember we were talking about how people are so funny with hypnosis because again, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And so
explain that. What, even when you're doing it to me?
Yes, because again, it's you will only do or accept what is in alignment with your core values. That's why I'm repeating this again, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, hypnosis, it's just got a bad rap. Let's just say Hollywood did not do it any great shakes.
That's right.
You are getting sleepy, you are in my control. I mean, come on. No. It is really, really cool stuff to help people change, to believe, to open up. So your experience, and it's a beautiful, dramatic and story is, and real experience for you, that you were open to your person's suggestions. And remember too, you were only going to accept what was in alignment with who you are. Okay. So that's the bottom line. Now, the difference with NLP, it works with changing the subconscious, but consciously we train. Basically, what I love to do is train you, okay, anyone that works with me, how to actually get in touch with this.
Okay.
Even when they do a breakthrough. So it is really important, though, to make sure that you are, I will say, because this is retraining your subconscious. You want somebody who knows what they're doing. You want somebody, if you go to a neurosurgeon or if you go to somebody to reset a broken arm, free from that, by the way, that's a signal to your unconscious mind to let go of something that you don't like. By the way, this is free from that. You can do this, you can think free from that. This can be your new signal to your subconscious mind or your unconscious mind to let go of something. Okay, because our unconscious mind's always recording, Lauren.
I believe it, Joy.
That's why we can put you into a light trance. It's just a light trance. You turn on music or drive a car, you're in light trance. It's nothing more dramatic than that.
It isn't. Let me say this to you guys out there. I know she's telling the truth. You know why? Because about a year ago, I implemented something like a beta test inside my world. Whereas I was like, well, you know, sometimes I have divine downloads and I can't speak them into my phone, or I can't write them down because I'm on the road or whatever. I said, so I'm going to try something. And every time I had one where it was not conducive to actually record it or write it down, I would just simply say to my brain, download this. And I would say, download. And it would. And I would go and write. And then I'd be sitting at home when I had time and it would come through. Oh, yeah. And I'd write it down. I was like, it works. So let's talk about this, because here's what I think happened with me when Ann said, see yourself in People magazine, see yourself getting that award. The reason it happened was because I had already accepted the setting of intentions. I didn't know the power I had of sending those intentions. Setting them is one thing. That's the pulling back of the bow and the arrow. But to release and let it fly is the key, because that's the action part. So talk about that, and then tell us if there's why somebody should go and get that book today that's ready to move to the next level. Why?
All right. So what do you want me to answer first?
All of that. We got 4 minutes left.
Oh my gosh.
I want him to get the book. I want him to get the book. So give him a reason.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The book this is really fun. It's simple. It's a really fast read. You can go to my website and you'll have a link to get the book. It's on e-version and paperback and
Nice.
Hardcover. So what this is are simple ways, sometimes forgotten, right, on how to achieve higher states of happiness and joy, because we have the emotional scale of frequencies. Okay, there's an actual scale of frequencies to our emotions, and it's just to bring you up, to lift you up into states of joy and happiness through things like chaos. These are my chapter titles: chaos, crisis, change, challenge, community, cost, creation, cosmos, creator. I mean, all the way, catalyst, I use C words. I just, that.
Right. Any particular reason why you chose C words?
My publisher said, this could be a really fun way to, and I said, okay, why not? Because, and also it creates an anchor, right? It's an anchor too. So that's anchors. Anchors are a whole other thing. These are the fun ways to learn about how to program ourselves and reprogram ourselves. All of this stuff that we're talking about, this fun stuff.
Man,
so
I wish you were in LA. I wish you were in Chicago, April 28th.
What's going on?
The Power of We Symposium.
Oh, yeah.
Inner city kids, I bet they've never had somebody say, come on up and learn this. And we need to talk. But here's another thing. You said my book is on the way. Let's make a deal. When I get the book, I'm going to read it in a day. I'm going to read it. And then I want you to come back, because I want to find out, maybe could you do something with all of us, like in real time, even through the computer, where you can help us. We go under, or you take us somewhere, or you help us connect to what we need for that time in space. Can you come back and do that with us?
Sure,
we can talk about the book more, because I want to.
I can do figure something out that's gentle, that's easy, and that's in alignment with everybody.
Yeah.
Okay? Because when you work with the mind arts, right, just like the body, you have, and the spirit and the soul. I'm also I'm an ordained minister also.
Wow.
So for ceremony, however I am, I'm also visionary guide. So I have a lot of different things. And the book, when you get the book, learn and read it, you're gonna understand a lot more about me. Because
I can't wait. I already know it works. I already know. And my mind is a lot different thank goodness, since 1988. I mean, it's a little bit more feeble in some areas, but it's a lot stronger in others. So I really want to see how I adhere, how I just want to see. I love that. Listen, you guys, we are instructed to seek. It's a promise. It doesn't say you might find something. You could. Well, it's possible. No, If we seek, we will find. We shall find. And that's why those things you don't know about, don't be afraid of the question mark. I'm going to tell you something. I used to be afraid of question marks, Joy, all the time. I don't know, but I don't know. But you know what? Now, today, let me tell you something. I don't care what you ascribe to. When I see the question mark, it's proof to me that what I believe to be greater than me is in it. So if it's God for you, when you see a question mark, that's because God is in it. That's when we know, listen, be fearless. This is where you fear less. So you know what? I'm going to put my fear back here, get in the back seat, fear, and I'm going to allow what is greater than me to step in front of me, walk before me, stand beside me, and cover the rear behind me, because as humans, there'll always be something we won't or cannot see. Okay, so get over to Joy D. Willett. What's D stand for? Denise?
Diane.
Joy Diane Willett. Get over and get yourself a copy of the book. When I read it, I'm going to book Joy to come back so that we can go even just a little bit deeper inside this wonderful, wonderful opportunity known as our mind and how we choose our destiny. To a certain extent, we do. Joy, yes.
Heart, connection with spirit and source and with God. That's the trilogy of joy. You'll find it in the book. Mindset, heart set, and soul set.
Yes, yes, yes. And I've been talking about it. I've never had such a wonderful year, Joy. I was a closet smoker since I was junior in high school until just in September. And I just had a divine download that said, Lauren, it's time for you to start allowing your soul to make those decisions you cannot. And so I told my soul, get rid of it. And it did. I didn't even remember I had ever smoked. It wasn't like I smelled it. It was like, boy, I'm feeling it. Gone.
How awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Let's when I get the book, I'm going to read it, I promise. And we're going to get you back and we're going to go even deeper. This is the year 2022, you guys, the year of abundance. The year of abundance. Do you believe it? Then all that's left is to receive it. So, Joy, thank you. Any closing remarks? You got a Jerry Springer thought for everybody before we get out?
Jerry Springer. I'm just going to say, guys, you have this. Connect with your heart. Believe. We all fumble. We all make mistakes.
Absolutely.
It's not rocket science. Be you. Just be you. There's no one else like you. And just that's your superpower. And love yourself. For Pete's sake, you were put on this earth to make a difference. Love yourself and lean in. There we go. Okay.
Amen. Joy B. Willett.
Willett.
I know. I wrote it down. I said I was going to ask you how many times do you have to correct people? Probably.
Will it or won't it? That's how I say it. Will it or won't it?
Oh, there you go. Will it or won't it? Joy D. Willett. There it is. Listen, you guys, get out today and be the very best version of yourself. How do you do it? You just get up and know I'm great already. I'm here and I'm here for a reason. Today, I'm going to get up and I'm going to commit myself to bringing something to this world that they've never seen, which means you're ready to get up and do something in this world you've never done. That's all it takes. I'm Lauren Michaels Harris. Meet me outside on the front porch tomorrow morning, God willing, at 8 a.m. Central, and we'll do it all over again as we encounter another illuminated conversation through that door known as Bathrobe Moments. Have a great day and be even greater. Thank you. Bye, everybody.